mat that you would take. You said once you got your hay all loaded on the trailer, and you were putting it up in the barn, then you'd go and put them in the top of the load of the hay like that. And as you started to pull, they would turn and dig into the hay, and up it would go. And then here's your rope for a tripping mechanism. See, the way these would work is they'd be, when they're going up like this, they got a big old bunch of hay up into the barn, and then when you wanted to you'd stab them into the hay and everything like that. And then your block and stuff would be pulling it up like that and up and into the barn. And then when you got to where you wanted your hay in the barn, you pulled this lever here and it tripped it, and it let the ends of these hooks go free, and they would turn like this, and then this chain here would pull them like that, and then they would release the hay. That's how they work. See, they would go from that position to like this, and then dump all the hay as you're going into the barn. And here's the rope whenever you get to where you're going. The guy inside of the barn says okay, and then you pull the rope and trip it.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah, there's a number of those things. This is this is some of the track right there, a bundle of it, that would run throughout your hay barn from one end to the other, and then this trolley would run on it, run on that track. And the way they were pretty clever, the way they done this, because you would have a rope, and your ropes would go through here, down around through this, and this is what you would be pulling your hay up there. See, but this thing is at the end of your barn like that, and your rope is running through there all the way to the other end of your barn, down to the ground, another set of pulleys, and a horse attached to the other end of it. And what they had was a locking system. Is this thing would, because otherwise once you started to pull, this block would just come with it and go across the barn. It wouldn't be pulling straight up. So when it got to the end, there was a lock on this rail that it locked into, so it couldn't move forth or back. And it would release this hook to go down. And the way that lock worked is it's right here. When this pulley's going up, and it bottoms out here, see how it's going to bottom out right there?
Mm-hmm.
It's pulling in, and then it hits this here mechanism, and then it grabs that pulley. See, that locks it in there.
Oh.
and then it releases it pushes up and releases the lock on the track, and then it takes off and goes into the barn. And then when it comes back, you have to manually pull this all back to the end of the barn. And then when it gets to the lock tricks the mechanism and lets the block go loose, and the block comes rolling back down to the bank. It was quite an interesting